Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the crypto Q&A call of Tuesday, the 6th of August, 2024. Let me see participants here. Now, as far as I see, everybody is in. I always tell a story about Italian ice makers. You know, they sell Italian ice, and that's a family. And that family can only talk about one topic: making and selling ice cream, the whole day. Now, you as a person, you need to stay for a while in that family. You never heard about Italian ice, you never tasted it, you never sold it. Do you think after a couple of months you have knowledge about Italian ice?
Definitely.
Absolutely. You know everything about Italian ice cream. And this is what is happening here. Also, join the community, join, or at least surround yourself with like-minded people, with like-minded habits and like-minded interests, and yeah, you grow together. And you
it's been great. I feel like you're not only learning, but I feel like it's also could be a confidence boost where it's like, okay, I am doing things correctly. You know, I am learning, I am doing it right. So it's a little bit of both learning and confidence.
Yeah. So don't overestimate yourself. Just learn with small steps, small amounts, because it doesn't matter if you make $50 or $100 profit. The case is that you make profits and do it over and over and over again. And once you get the habit of profit making, you can increase the amount of money all the time a little bit. So get comfortable, get familiar. And the shit that happens in the market and yesterday and today, this is business as usual, you know? And we should not fear it. So I was in the Good Morning Crypto show yesterday. And then I talked with Epps, and Epps said, yeah, you know, in the market down. And I said, you know, I love it. I love it because better entry points for Bitcoin. And then you listen to the news and you see the articles, and you see articles, is this the end of Bitcoin? And everybody is negative. And I say, come on. So I opened the show also and say, you know, I feel myself as a kid in the candy store. I'm buying and buying and buying more. And you know, I was sitting, and that's also the fun of our investment method. We are always sitting on money that's not invested. It is very rare that you have invested 100% of your capital. It's just rare. And I can imagine that if you just start, you say, yeah, but I want to invest all my money. I want to invest everything. No, because that is the risk. You should not risk that. You should have always money on the sidelines to invest more. And the fun of the calculators is the calculator tells you exactly how much money you have to keep in store. So if it goes further down, you still have money, and you can sleep well. You have your limit orders. Everything is in place. Everything is automatically. And the next morning you wake up, or at night after your work, you look it up and you think, I bought more, or I did nothing, or I sold. Only 3 things you can do: buy, sell, or do nothing. And once I figured that out, and all that BS around it, and all that noise, and all these influencers, forget about them. Just make your own playing rules and go from there. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to share some stuff because I made a very nice presentation. You know, I'm following a lot of of those gurus and teachers and mentors, and so and they are all telling more or less the same stuff. And then today, you know, I'm already, for me, it's already evening here. It's already 7 p.m. And that's no problem, but I had a whole day to prepare a lot of stuff for you guys, because yeah, for you, Andrew, for you it's already night, but for all the others, it is somewhere during the day, or at least in the morning for you. So I think it's I always have a lot of fun with making this stuff, and it keeps me also up to date. You know, this was Monday morning. It looks like Christmas. A little bit of green and red. This is, you know, and what is Christmas? It is the happiest time of the year. So think about it if it is Christmas. So, and now the whole market is talking about a roller coaster, and it is volatile. And now I've been on a roller coaster and I had no idea how to do this. So this is really fun. This is a monument in Germany, and it's all stairs. So you can walk the stairs. So you have to control laser. You have to walk. If you come from here, you have to walk very hard, and then you can take the looping. No, it's not true. But this was so much fun. It always makes me think about the stock market and the crypto market. So confused? Yes, we are. So why are the markets selling off? What is happening? Sell pressure and fear because of recession fears, you know? And I don't care. The idea is that the central bank held rates too high for a long time, that the global economy will tumble into a recession, which I think is not true, because we are in an election year, and not a single president wants to have a recession in his election year. Now, what is the difficulty for the Fed? Now, it's like the Olympic balance beam, you know, to keep the economy on the beam. Yeah, when the inflation is too high, the economy falls off the balance beam, and the inflation is too cold, there is a risk of a recession. So I think sometimes we speak a little bit badly about Jerome Powell, but I think it's also not an easy job, what he is doing with his team. So what now? The last 2 years were fantastic for investors. However, the last 2 weeks, we see more and more signals that the inflation is going up again. Weak job reports, unemployment rate may rise. So what? But is it really bad with the economy? Now, what you see, another indicator is the Institute of Management Supply, and they measure the sentiment of the amount, or they measure the amount of orders for supply management. And if it is below 50, then there is a decrease, and if it's above 50, it is a growth. So in June it was 48, and in July it was 51. So we see growth. Now, so probably the Fed will almost certain not do an emergency rate cut. So that's at least that's what I read in the news. So what's more happening? Unemployment rate rising. Now the unemployment rate came with 4.3%, which is higher than expected. High unemployment indicates that the US economy could be headed towards recession. Then we see the Japanese yen strengthening. It's also a weird story. I didn't know that, but in Japan, you can borrow money at 0% interest rate. So what are a lot of people doing in institutions? They are borrowing money in Japan, they exchange it into dollars, and then they put it on a treasury bill in dollars, and they make maybe 2%. And that's already for years happening. And what did Japan now do? They increased their interest rate with 25 basis points. That is 0.25%. So yeah, now hell breaks loose, of course, because all those constructions need to be unwinded. So that was actually the trigger for the panic last or yes, yesterday. And then there is, the fifth time already in 2024, the fear of World War III. You know what's happening with the Middle East and with in Ukraine. Sad story. So yeah, people want to dump the assets. So that is the reason. So what I want to do with you is to look at the volatility index. Who have ever heard about the volatility index? Maybe not. So what is the volatility index? That is an index measures the expected volatility over the next 30 days. So that's what people say. How volatile will the S&P 500 be in the next 30 days? And that is what they base it on option prices. Maybe a little bit difficult. It's also called the fear index. And the VIX is known as the fear index because higher values often indicate greater uncertainty among investors. Yeah. How is it calculated? The Chicago Board Options Exchange is calculating it with a difficult formula. And the interpretation is, if the VIX is bigger than 30, it suggests high expected volatility. And if the VIX is lower than 15, it is expected low volatility. So, and then it is used for investors to assess the market. This is, you can just figure this out on TradingView. You know, just type in. It is here on the monthly scale here. And what you see here is the volatility index. Here you see the scale from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So sometimes you see it go up, and this is 1986, 1987 till now. And this is then the spike of the volatility index of yesterday. So let's see what happens. In 1998, it was the Russian financial crisis, or the long-term capital management collapse. You know, we all know probably still the long-term capital management from the news of those days, if you are a little bit older. In the 2003, we had, or 2002, we had the burst of the dot-com bubble, also fear. Then we had the global financial crisis. We all remember the global financial crisis, you know, of 2008, 2009. And this was really a high VIX spike, so high volatility. Then we see here 2015, concerns over China economic slowdown. We see here concerns over interest rates, 2018. We see here the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And here the fear for the recession. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I see somewhat more spike. So maybe 10 times fear in the market in a period of maybe, say, 20 years. Guys, but if I zoom out, what do I see here? Every 2 years there is fear. And who remembers 1998, 2003, 2000? Nobody remembers it anymore. What did the stock market do over the time? It always went up. What did the crypto market do over the time? It always went up. So what will it do for the next 20 years? Every 2 years, fear. So what does it mean? The candy store opens every 2 years for us. Now, absolutely. So, you know, if you do not have this overview, you cannot, you get too emotional. You think, oh, it's the end of the world. Everybody thought here of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is the end of the world. I know my neighbors, I can look out of my window, and I could look in the living room of my neighbors. And they had children in the age of maybe 10, 12 years. And they wrote on a piece of paper, we are all going to die. That was March 2020. That was the fear, you know. Everybody thought it's the end of the world. Was it the end of the world? No, absolutely not. Everybody's laughing now about it. Of course, it is terrible if you lost somebody in that pandemic period, but from an investor point of view, get used to it. Just get used to it and be aware it happens. So what now? 3 things. We buy strategically the dip, which some of us did. We use the calculators, and we do our asset allocation wisely. Guys, keep doing it and buy the dip. So we thought BTC was on track for a significant price breakout. Everybody was expecting it up. So sunshine, but this is what happens. Yeah. And some analysts said, you know, we need at least 70,000 to confirm the breakout. Okay. So, and this was what I think, now I'm not sure who asked it, but here you see in the bull run, and I showed this diagram already several months ago to you guys. So this was the start of the bull run in 2020. We saw a drop of 62%. Then we saw a drop of 55%. This was the end of the bull run. And here a new bull run started, you know, this is our bull run here. We saw a dip of 22%, of 24%, of 22%. And then when I presented it, we saw a dip of 23%. Then what happened today, and this is what I predicted. We will see a dip of 30%, and we might see a dip of 40%. And actually, we had a dip. This was here the dip. It was 32%. Yeah. So go here. You see here, from here to here, that was 32%. And this was the channel that BTC was moving in. So we were all expecting, that BTC would do this. That's why we thought, you know, we need that confirmation of $70,000. And Bitcoin did this. So what do we expect? Will it do this? Who think it will do this? No. Maybe it does this. Or, and this is for you, Jeff, it might do this. And we just don't know. But keep some dry powder. If it will do this, it will drop. Now maybe below 45 or maybe into the direction of 40,000, and we can buy more. Yeah, you know, and then we had the drop of 40 or maybe more than 40%. And that will also happen. Hello, son of Jennifer. Hello. Hi. So, guys, this is the game, and be prepared, but be not surprised. So invest with money that you can afford to allocate for a longer time, maybe for several years, and then, you know, we will fix this. Who knows the stock to flow model of this Dutch guy? What's his name? Name I will remember later. This is the stock to flow model, and what you see here is the expected increase of the price of Bitcoin. Here you see the price, and this is a logarithmic time scale. So for example, here is 100, here is 200, 300, 400, 500, 6,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, you know. So what do we see here? Here with the colors means the months until the next halving. So this is the halving here. This is a halving here. This is a halving, and we just have seen the fourth halving. So 4, 3, 2, yeah. So from here, you see that after the halving, let's start here, it overshoots the expected price, and then it goes down again. And then we see another halving, and it overshoots again. So it overshoots here to maybe 20,000. Yeah, it was actually 19,000. And then it dropped again back to around 5,000. then it went up, and this was the last bull run in 2021. And then we saw a double top here, but it did not overshoot so much anymore because everybody thought it will go to 100,000 and it didn't. But still, imagine if we are able that the price will go up to this line here, which it every time did. Every time it went up to this line and even higher. But if in the next bull run, the price will at least touch this line, yeah, you will see we are at 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, around $400,000 to $500,000. Not sure if it will shoot over. Nobody knows. But I think this is extremely promising what's happening here. This model is still working, and this guy figured this out already. The guy is called Plan B. That is his artist name. He figured it out already in 2016 that Bitcoin will follow this trend, and every time he was right. So guys, keep it in mind, but be also aware that as of $100,000, start taking some profits. Yeah, because we don't know if it will hit this line again. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We never know. But I think it is very promising. Here, we just came out of the boring period. This is the boring zone and the banana zone, how they call it. Yeah, what we saw here in 2012, a boring zone and then a banana zone. This is the price. In 2016, a boring zone and a banana zone. In 2020, a boring zone and a banana zone. And now here we are in 2024. Where are we? In the boring zone. And we are waiting for the banana zone. So this is just, guys, to motivate you to be patient and to wait till things happen. One of my mentors always say, that's Tika Tiwari. He says, let the game come to you, which is actually true. Here, another motivational sheet. What do we see here? These are years. We see 1, 2, 3 years of price increase for Bitcoin, and one year a drop in prices. Then 1, 2, 3 years price increase, and then a year of a drop. 1, 2, 3 years price increase, and then a year of a drop. Yes. Do you see the systematic here? 1, 2, and our year is not over yet, but at least we expect another year of price increase. So I think that's yeah. Also, the price increase in the past was way higher. You know, it was almost 6,000%. Then it was the biggest price increase was 1,300%. Then it was 300%, and now, yeah, maybe we will get an increase of, I don't know, maybe 100%. We will see. Just last week before the dip, yeah, this guy, I follow this guy. Summer consolidation is almost over. Bitcoin is pushing for a strong monthly close. Now, Bitcoin did, but not to the upside, but to the downside. Yeah, watching for ETF demand to be hotter after Trump's weekend speech. It's right. So this could be a big week. That's what this guy said, a couple of days ago. And he was so right. So what do we see here, actually? What we see here is a sort of standard model of the price in a bull market. You know, we go from accumulation, that was last year and the year before, and then you see what ups and downs, and then there was some shake out and momentum building. Then we saw the first sentiment in extreme. That's what we saw, you know, Bitcoin went to $70,000 or so. And now we see our bear trap. So who will get out? People that are not patient. They think, oh, people that don't understand it. So we will see a renewed optimism. Here we see the FOMO. Who will go in? People that were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then they say, you know what? Maybe it's good I also go in. And then they think, oh, I'm fantastic, and they put in even more money. And then it goes down and down, breakdown, fear, bottom fishing, despair. So expect the same scenario will play out. This second leg here, I think that will be somewhere in 2025. Yeah, somewhere up to the middle, maybe till the autumn, and then we will see the drop down. So be prepared. Compare. This was the previous bull run here. Yeah, and there we saw the COVID crash. You know, Bitcoin went from, I thought, 15,000 to 5,000 here. And then we were ready for the bull run. So is this our last chance to load up? Maybe. Maybe we will see if this is the last chance. So what do we see here? Semler Scientific just bought another 6 million. And since adopting, and they have also filed a raise of 150 million to buy more BTC. You know, the buying just continues. Institutional investors are just buying all the time. So don't fear. And then also, this was a nice one here. When you finally give your kids their Bitcoin inheritance, I think that's especially for you, Jennifer. Yeah, they will never understand what you went through to hodl for them. You know, it isn't easy. You see it go up and down, but at least if we talk together about it, I think it's good. I spoke the other day with my, actually yesterday, spoke with my girlfriend, and we talked a lot about Bitcoin. And so I said to her, you know what? You don't have Solana at the moment. Yesterday, I said, now is the time to go into Solana. You know, don't invest everything you have, but take a good portion and keep some money on the sidelines to buy even more if it goes lower. You know, so it is about Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and XRP. That at least that are my winners, and the rest of the top 10 and 15 are also winners. And I will go over the details in a minute. But if you want to make a balance between safe crypto and less safe crypto, I would say put at least 60, maybe 70% of your money in those 4 cryptos, and then divide the rest over the maybe 20% over the top 15 till top 50, and then you have some money over for the smaller coins. And there I always say no more than $200 to $500 in the smaller ones. Yeah, and if you want to do more, okay, be my friend, but be prepared to lose it all. And that's what I do not expect for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. They are just too big already. So, guys, I'm not selling. I'll keep it, and I stick to the calculator, and I stick to the program. Ethereum ETF launches 2.2 billion inflows. CoinShares, so also that Ethereum ETF just continues. Here I had sheet, I would skip it, but we see a lot of companies selling ETF shares, ProShares, Valkyrie, Bitcoin, Van Eck, Bitcoin, ARK Invest, some Bitwise, some ProShares, some well-known names. Oh yeah, I like it. Here, let's see if I can play the video. I like it so much. You know, I'm not especially a fan of Donald Trump, But I hate Gary Gensler.
On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. As president, I will immediately shut down Operation Choke Point 2.0. They want to choke you. They want to choke you out of business. We're not going to let that happen. They want to move the creation of a central bank digital currency. It's over. Forget it. There will never be a CBDC while I'm president of the United States. And I will always defend the right to self-custody. On day one.
Yeah, sorry. I hope you also like it a little bit. Let me see. Here, just in. Trump, if president, pledges from a Bitcoin reserve using 210,000 Bitcoin seized by the Department of Justice as a core of a new strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. And I think they are wise to do that. It's just like gold. Pile it up and it will increase in value. And if they do not bring those 210,000 Bitcoins to the market, you know, it will dry up liquidity. So good for us. So what is he saying? Bitcoin is a marvel of a technology. Bitcoin is a miracle of cooperation and human achievement. The Biden-Harris administration's repression of crypto and Bitcoin is wrong and is very bad for our country. Then in regard to building fossil fuel-based power plants for BTC mining farms and AI, we will very simply drill, baby, drill. And you know, 7,000 years ago, we were able, you know, on the west side of the Netherlands, we have the North Sea. And then if you go over the North Sea, you go to Great Britain. 7,000 years ago, you were able to walk from the Netherlands to England without getting your feet wet. So what are we talking about with global warming? Of course we have global warming, but it has nothing to do with CO2. So far, my political opinion. So, and Trump is not alone, you know? Hong Kong lawmaker pushes to include Bitcoin in strategic final reserve. So Hong Kong is doing the same. Here.
I don't think that was political opinion. I think that was just common sense.
Yeah. You know, we are, Jeffrey, we are pumped, full of fear. You know, fear of recession, the fear of whatever, the crisis this, crisis that, everything. We are indoctrinated in our head with fear. And you know what happens if you live in fear? You will start doing what your government says. And that's exactly what they want.
Yep.
So, and that's exactly what we must avoid. So listen to people you trust. And start listening to yourself. Get trust in yourself. And don't care what other people think of you. Just do what you think is right. And you will grow as a human being. So Senator Looms proposes US buys 1 million Bitcoin. 1 million Bitcoin. You know, that is 685 Bitcoin every single day for 5 years. Impossible. I thought that the mining capacity at this moment is around 500 Bitcoins per day, what will be mined. So if they want to buy 685 Bitcoins per day, nah, not so sure. But at least I appreciate the idea that she has an idea to, yeah, at least to buy more Bitcoin, which is good for us. If we are loaded up with Bitcoin, that the price will increase. And Jennifer, you can give it to your sons. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I assume that's why you're here, to build some wealth for your legacy. So, and also the US Federal Reserve to spend 68 billion to buy back Bitcoin and XRP. Not so sure if it is XRP, but they will buy some Bitcoin. Okay, then in Wyoming, there is a university, and it will be the first BTC Research Institute. Not sure which city it will come. Did you know I lived in Wyoming for several years? I had a guest ranch in near Cody, and that is near Yellowstone National Park. So we were in the Bighorn Mountains, and we had horses. We had 20 horses in the summer, and then in the fall we were open for hunting season, and in the winter we were open for the snowmobilers. So we had it was fun. We had a bar and a restaurant and a hotel, and we had a gas station and a shop. And unfortunately, it was a little bit too remote, so we were not able to make it profitable, that business. And so I thought it was a good investment, and that was the moment when that went bankrupt. That was the moment I only had 2 suitcases left, and I had nothing anymore. And I thought, you know what? This never again. So I started investing. So I'm talking about more than 20 years ago. But it was a very nice adventure, and I enjoyed it very much. It was unforgettable to live and to work in the US in your own company. It was high up in the Bighorn Mountains. So 2 meters of snow in winter, nice summers, super. Okay, let's finish this up. Crypto AI, the investment opportunity of this cycle. So what's happening between AI and the blockchain? You know, secure decentralized infrastructure for AI. So what does it mean? Benefits include data verification, distributed computer power, and enhanced privacy. But it means that with the blockchain, you can create decentralized applications. And those decentralized applications can be used by AI, because AI uses such an enormous amount of computing power that if you can distribute that also all over the world, you are not dependent on centralized servers anymore. So I think that's also the nightmare of Amazon and Amazon Web Services and other major data centers. So Sam Altman, who knows Sam Altman? Sam Altman is the guy of OpenAI, which is, by the way, not open anymore because it's now owned by Microsoft. And that also gave the battle between Sam Altman, Microsoft, and Elon Musk. He doesn't like it at all that AI is not open anymore. But okay. Let's go to Pantera Capital is also raising 1 billion for AI investments. So I want to stop with this diagram. I've showed it several times already. If you want to go in AI, here is the sheet. Where do I have my? Here I have it. Who is interested in? We have still some time. I need to take a sip of water. One moment, please. So we already have looked at Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana. Should we have a look at a little bit at the Render and the Graph, Akash, PAL, maybe Fetch AI? because I talked about. But if you want to go over another crypto, let's let me know.
Hey, Andrew,
Yes, my dear.
for the Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, the main four, what did you say the percentage is to have? Was it 60 or 80, 70?
60, 70%.
60, 70.
Yeah. You know, there is also in the academy, there is also a, here, maybe I can show you that. Let's go to the Andrew Cashflow Academy. Here. So. My laptop is only 2 years old, and with the day it gets slower at the moment. So maybe need to buy a new laptop again. Let's see. Please verify your administration. What is this? I'm not even allowed to go in my own academy anymore. This is weird. Maybe we are hacked. Yeah, I'm in now. What I wanted to show you, Nicole, go to the Smart Investor course here. And I know it is a lot of videos, but I did my best to make it as approachable as possible, you know, with the schematic overview here. Here you see the first step, asset allocation. And if you ask me a question, Nicole, about how much money should I allocate to something, here you can find the video. So it is here in asset allocation. And what I like you to do is just play around a little bit with it. So we go here to asset allocation for crypto. So, and here you see the asset allocation calculator. By the way, if you go to here, calculator and tools, you can also find the calculator. But at least it's maybe to do also for the other people. I'm now downloading an Excel sheet. It should open somewhere. Here. Who recognizes this this spreadsheet? Yeah. So it is pretty easy to use. You see here 4 asset classes: real estate, precious metal, stocks, and crypto. For real estate, I choose rental properties, and I do always the storage boxes. You know, because a storage box is, nowadays maybe 40,000 euros. So it's relatively seen not too much money compared to to an apartment or maybe a family house. So precious metal, do what you like. I do around 5%. And then you see stocks. You can do investing in large cap stocks, investing in small cap stocks. You can do trading and exotic projects. What I would do if I were you, you know, for example, for crypto, we have the same distribution: large caps, small caps, trading, and exotic projects. I would put here for trading at the moment 0, because we don't do trading. Yeah. Make sure that here the total is, this just sums up. It should always be 100%. Imagine your capital is 50,000. Then here, make it here maybe 70%. And then, for example, this is 25%, and now you have 5% left over, or you do it 20% and 10%. Yeah? So what do we see now? That you can divide your money for the large caps, dus that is the top 10 cryptos. You have now, based on this asset allocation, you have total amount to be invested in crypto, which is 15,000. If you do 30% crypto and 20% stocks, 5% precious metals and 45% real estate. So you can invest $10,000. If you want to invest in four large cap cryptos, you can invest 2,500 per large cap if you invest in 4. Yeah. And just also use the strategy. Yeah, use the calculator. The small caps that start as of the top 10, more or less top 15. And then we have the exotic projects. And you know, we like the exotic projects. Why? Because they are so volatile and we like volatility. That is hot. That is Coinbase a little bit. By the way, that's a stock. And that is Stronghold Digital Holding. You know, Andrew likes to invest in a Donald J. Trump coin. And I wouldn't do that, but he does it and makes money, so that's good. If you like to invest in Shiba Inu or in that other weird coins, you know, divide your $1,500, for example, in 5 equal pieces of $300, and or maybe in 7 or 8 equal pieces of $200, and then you can buy 7 or 8 of those cryptos. Yeah. So it's fun. Also, try to buy not too many cryptos because it is a lot of work. But on the other hand, if you have your alarming set up in TradingView, there's nothing to fear, nothing to worry. But if you buy an asset, crypto or a stock, always put in your triggers where you want to go out or where you want to buy more. Because to walk through your watch list every day, maybe 30 cryptos, it's too much. It's too much. I can't do it. And especially with cryptos, not much is happening. With stocks, I'm maybe in 15, 20 stocks at the same time, and it's still doable to walk through the list. So does this help, Nicole?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's it for today. Not sure if there are other questions at this moment. You want to have some help with something? And else, I would say, let's call it a day.
I have one quick question.
Go ahead.
On the VIX for the volatility of the S&P 500, it was over 30 and under 15. Can you go back to that slide
Sure.
just quickly?
Share screen. No, it's not this one. It is the VIX, eh? This one here.
Yeah, the one prior.
This one?
One prior where all the text is. Okay, so a high VIX value is over 30.
Oh. Yeah.
So expect volatility. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, I always ask myself, especially to all those guys that explain technical analysis. Now you know, Nicole, higher than 30 expect volatility. How does that influence your decision to buy or sell?
Well, it's interesting because somebody asked me yesterday, are you buying or are you holding off? Are you you know, what are you doing? And then text me about this VIX, which was the first time I've ever heard about it. And that it was a high volatility. So his plan was to buy a little bit yesterday, but also hold off to see if it drops over the next few days. So that's what got me thinking about it. And then, of course, it pops up today, which is wonderful. But you know, him saying that, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And so I will, you know, be expecting to buy if it goes down. But that's always my plan, right? Like it's always my strategy. So it falls into alignment, but it was just interesting when someone presents this information. I just want to be knowledgeable about it as well.
Yeah. So who can help, Nicole? How does the VIX influence our strategy? Our decision making? How does the VIX influence our decision making? At least what I teach here.
The only thing I can really think of is if you're deciding to buy, you might choose to use the minus 70% calculator if you're buying stocks. But overall, not a huge amount. You sort of stick to the plan, but yeah.
Would we do worse without the knowledge of the VIX, or would we do better with the knowledge of the VIX?
I think I feel more comfortable and secure with the VIX, knowing that everybody's in fear and the volatility's high. I have a better chance of that it's going to be there and a good time to buy. That's
okay. Yeah, I got it. It is more from an emotional point of view that you get confirmation and say, okay, we know there is volatility in the market. Everybody is in panic. And actually, for us, there is no reason at all to be in panic. But we understand that others are panicking.
Yeah, it's Christmas for us.
It's Christmas for us. Yeah.
So for me, it wouldn't define whether or not I go into a stock so much. It would be or crypto. It would just be the amount that I put in each time. So if I'm DCAing in, it might be less if there's high volatility, for example, but I'd still invest into it. I wouldn't say, oh no, the VIX is too high, you know, I'm not going to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like it might just change the strategy. So, you know, with the stocks, might use the 70% calculator instead of the 50%. I might DCA less. If I was DCAing into a crypto, I might DCA less each time, but overall, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop me.
Mhm.
So actually, I think that the VIX is more an instrument to get a little bit confirmation of what is happening. But it is still driving a car, looking in the back mirror. Because I cannot see where it will go if I know the VIX or if I don't know the VIX. Yeah, you know, for me personally, I would not be unhappy if I'm not allowed to look at the VIX at all anymore at the rest of my life. I would not be unhappy.
Yeah, I haven't needed it until right?
I didn't know about it until today.
it.
So, you know, other than the fear and greed index, which I suppose is tied into it, that's all I knew. I didn't know anything about the VIX until this session. So
Yeah,
doesn't affect my decision making.
yeah. No, yeah, I took it up because I heard so many people talking about the VIX. And then I thought, you know, and it was right because, Nicole, you also met somebody who talked about the VIX.
But for me, I like the added knowledge because it just gives a better macro perspective on things, looking out from within.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still going to do my micro and what I normally do, but it's just nice seeing that perspective. And Because even when you look at the fear index, when everybody's, you know, the other, not fearful like they are now, but the other way, then that can be dumb money sometimes because you're almost coming in too late at times. Anyway, I don't know. But anyways, it's
No,
just
you're
nice
right.
to have a different perspective.
Yeah, different perspective is always right. It's always
Yeah.
good. But never forget your basic strategy.
Yeah.
And never make decisions with emotions. That's why I'm an advocate of placing your orders always with limit orders and preferably outside market opening hours. Because if you see that price go up and down, yeah, and that's what I asked Andrew at the beginning of the session. Weren't you nervous if you see so many triggers go off and what to choose first? Yeah.
I felt like I needed a Panadol afterwards. After it was craziness for about 2 hours yesterday morning in the market. Normally it's about half an hour. It was just insanity for, I was non-stop, like,
You
as I
were,
said, like five of my limit orders hit. Like, so I had limit orders in, but there were other things triggering as all happening at once. You know, it wasn't just one or two. There was, you know, I don't know, there was probably
a zillion.
a zillion. It kept beeping at me every 10 seconds, just about.
Yeah.
And so it was just a matter of working out what I'm like. I have to work out a strategy of how I'm going to manage this, and I just decided to go through the emails in the order. And
Yeah.
is it the best strategy? Maybe not, but at least it was a strategy of going through the alert emails one by one in the order that they came. And did, you know, could I have done better if I'd chosen differently? Possibly, but
Yeah, you never
I had
know.
to pick it. I had to pick a way of bringing order to the chaos of that moment, you know, and because otherwise I would have just floundered and just done nothing, just wasted time, you know. So I thought, right, everything's crazy, but I'm seeing these emails. I'm going to go through them one at a time as they come in, from the order they come in. Maybe it's not the best strategy, but at least it is a strategy. I'm doing something. I'm doing things in the order, and I'm not just going here, there, and everywhere, and then making mistakes and forgetting things. So,
You know, it's better to take a step in the direction than to do nothing.
Mm.
And going and taking the step, you will learn maybe after a couple of times how to do it better. And I think that's why we're also sitting here together, learning from each other, see what we do, and try to make the best decisions, try to make the best structure for yourself, try to be as efficient as possible for yourself. And
it was a learning strategy for me. I would do things differently. Again, if next time this happens, I won't say if it happens again, when it happens again, I'll do something slightly differently. But yeah, that's how we do it. We learn and yeah.
And we make money, guys. If you do not make money here, we need to talk. Book a call with me, and I will go over your portfolio, and you know you're missing somewhere something, because it's impossible if you don't make money with the strategy. So okay, hey guys, I really enjoyed this call. I hope you did too. And yeah, I hope to see you next week again. And you know, keep writing in the VIP lounge. Share your wins. It's always nice to hear from you if you took some profits or if you went into a stock or a crypto. And let's work together. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys.